Okay, football talk, NFL football talk, the championship games. Yes, I watched them. I wanted Kansas City to win. Even Kansas City, is not my favorite team. My favorite team's the Dallas Cowboys, okay, but I wanted Kansas City to win. They haven't been in the Super Bowl in years and years and years. So yeah, I wanted to see Kansas City in the Super Bowl. I think they got a great quarterback. I like their coach, okay, so I wanted to see the Chiefs to win. And of course this, over the weekend, okay, the NFC Championship games, AFC Championship games, you had two bad calls, okay, especially the Saints and the Rams. But I think the Kansas City call, the offside call, I think it was a bad call too. I mean, yes, the guy was off. The guy was offside, but here's the deal with that. It didn't impact the play. Okay. I mean, Tom Brady would have threw that interception if the guy was on sides or offsides or standing on his head. He would have threw that interception. Okay. So, and the deal is with that type of call too, which I find kind of unfair, all right, like when you get an offsides call, a lot of times you get a free play, right? Someone's offsides, oh, free play. How about if the referee don't call it and don't call the play dead, the play counts, okay? I mean, the deal is with that type of call, see, with the Patriots, let's say if the pass was completed, all right? Let's say he completed it and the guy gained 12 yards. Well, Kansas City would have canceled the penalty and took the play, so they got a free play out of it. But when it's against them, then it counts. All right? Well, I don't think that should be the case. I mean, you shouldn't have it both ways, okay? I mean, if someone has a penalty, the play is dead, period. I don't care if the other team completed the pass off from it, it's dead. All right? If you're going to do that, then the whole play is dead. All right? But another thing they should look at, does the penalty impact the play? I mean, that's another deal, too. If it didn't impact the play, should be let the stand the play, okay? I mean, they still could take off the yards if they wanted to do it that way, but if it didn't impact the play, why shouldn't the play count? Okay? I've been watching football since, I'd say 1974. I've been watching football, and I can't remember so many years referees infecting big games like it has been the last few years. I think it's just been horrible how the referees has impacted games, big games, okay? And a lot of these big games comes down to a couple key plays, okay? And they have really impacted who wins, all right, especially in the big games, okay? And yeah, I'm tired of it because I can't remember it being that bad back in the 70s and 80s. It's like roughing a passer, that call too. I mean, there's so much with that because sometimes the roughing the passer call, sometimes when you watch the play, the passer really wasn't roughed up. The guy was just tackling him. It wasn't that bad, okay? And a lot of times they'll call that. And I think in this championship game, didn't Brady? I think they had a call on that where roughing the passer. Okay, now I haven't seen that. I could go watch it to see what I think about it. If it was a bad roughing the passer. I mean, yeah, sometimes it needs to be called. It really does. Sometimes them guys really get out of hand and they really clobber the quarterback, and it's unnecessary. Okay, and it should be called. It's like the holding call. See, I've been told like the holding penalty. I've been told the referees can call that on every down. On every down, there's someone held a little bit, but they'll just let it go because if they call it all the time, you couldn't even play the game. Okay. So, I mean, just think, there's what, 54 seconds in that Kansas City and New England game, right? I think it was 54 seconds left in that game. And Brady threw an interception, which the game would have been over with, right? And if it wasn't for that offside, all right, and the play would have counted and Kansas City would have got the ball, Kansas City would be in the Super Bowl right now. Kansas City is not in the Super Bowl because of an offsides call where it didn't have any impact on the play. They're not in the Super Bowl because of that. Because of an offsides call, it didn't have no impact on the play. Brady still would have threw the interception if the guy was onside or offside. Okay, so Kansas City's out of the Super Bowl because of an offside deal. What is that, a 5-yard penalty, man? So, yeah, I understand why people are upset with referees and calling penalties because how they're impacting games. Let the players play, okay? If it's a penalty that don't impact the play, okay, and if it's one of them penalties where it's up in the air, let the teams play the game, let the game play out, you freaking rear end. I mean, I'm tired of it, and I've been watching football for decades. And the referees in the last 4 or 5 years, I tell you, they've sucked. They really have. I mean, the commissioner really needs to take a look at this and change some stuff around because it's irritating. It really is. And it's like Kansas City, they're not my favorite team. New England isn't. The Saints isn't. The Rams, they're not my favorite team. But you still want to see, the team that won the game and over something little willy-nilly deal, and the other team gets to go and they don't. It's stupid. And the call with the Rams, too, with the Saints, okay, it's like the Rams interfering with the Saints at receiver. Now, was that a impact play? Yeah, that was an impact penalty because the Rams player was right in his face. He couldn't catch the ball because the Rams player was right in his face. He couldn't catch the ball. He interfered with him. That was a horrible penalty. That one should have been called. And you get a penalty like that, yes, it should be called. That impacted the play, that impacted the game. And the referees didn't call that. But they call an offside on the Kansas City Chiefs, and it didn't impact the game, but they called it so New England gets to go to the Super Bowl and Kansas City doesn't. So, yeah, it's irritating. It really is. And I read a couple of reports where the Saints and Rams game, they want the commissioner to call it for a rematch. People are so ticked off with that game and the Rams interfering with their receiver, they want the commissioner to call for a rematch, which I don't think is going to happen, okay? It's never happened in NFL history. As far as I know, it's never happened. Okay, but yeah, I don't think it's going to happen at all, but I understand how they feel, I really do. In a big game like that, I understand how they feel, and you get referees rather calling some willy-nilly thing that didn't impact the game, they call it, then they have a big gross penalty, and they don't call that one. It's really making them look bad, it really is.